everybody, I'm Kayla.
And I'm Crystal.
And we are
the Cruising Chicks. So we've gathered some myths that we hear from people about cruising.
Yes, anytime we talk to anybody about cruising, they have a lot to say. And so, these are just some of the top things that people are like, oh, we've heard this and we've heard that, and we just kind of cross-referenced some of this on the internet, and it was the internet really that gave it the word myth and told us to debunk it.
Right.
So that's what we're going to do. So jumping in to myth 1.
Myth 1, feeling trapped.
Like in a closet?
I mean, or a small space. I don't know, but a lot of people feel like when they're on a cruise, they have nowhere to go, nothing to do, when there is a huge ocean around them.
Right. Which, I mean, I kind of understand if you can't see anything else but ocean, that maybe you get a little apprehensive. You feel kind of like, I can't get off this thing. But there are so many different rooms, different venues is the word I'm looking for, on a ship, that I don't think that you're always going to remember that you're out in the middle of the ocean.
Right. I know for me, when I first started cruising, I had to go into the bottom, not on the top deck. I didn't want to see the ocean. I didn't want to know that I was out there in the middle of the ocean away from land.
Right.
So we did go down and check out all the different venues, the bars, and sometimes if a ship has a promenade or a central atrium, it feels like you're in a different city.
Right. And you also have to remember that you are seeing different ports every day or every other day, and so you're not just looking at the ocean. You are seeing land, you are getting off the ship, you are walking on land. There isn't this sense of I'm out in the ocean and I'm never going to see land again ever in my life. My feet will never be on terra firma. It will always be on ocean.
Right. And there are so many different activities, shows, you know, the production shows, comedy, there's trivia, all different things that you can get involved in that will help take your mind off of it and make it seem more like normal day-to-day life.
And if more of your issue is feeling like you're contained in a small area, there are so many open decks that make you feel like the sky is the limit on the amount of space you have.
Right. Some ships have putt-putt, some have a sports area, the water slides,
pools, hot tubs.
Yeah,
like,
you can occupy your time that way if you prefer to be out on the open deck.
And that brings us to myth 2, which is cruising is only for the Mimis, or the elderly people. We love you, Mimi. You're not really elderly, you're young at heart.
I mean, obviously some cruise lines and some itineraries cater more toward older people, right. Just in general. I mean, Alaskan cruises, typically you see a lot of elderly on those cruises.
Or at least they're predominantly not children.
Right.
You're looking at more probably families with older children, more, you know, geared towards your maybe 30s and up range. Right. Yes, but you know, like the older generation does tend to cruise more for the destination than the ship, which right. Alaska in itself is, you know, a time where you're cruising for the destination, not the ship.
Right. You're going to see more younger people and children, families, all that on the Caribbean cruises. Some cruise lines
yes.
Are more geared toward older people as well.
Holland America,
yeah.
Princess, Viking, those more upscale cruise lines do tend to be more on the elderly aged side. feel like we're trying to be so PG about calling people old.
Right.
Hey, listen, you do you, boo. Cruise whatever you want.
Exactly.
I want to be you when I'm 80.
And we seem to find the old people on every cruise we go to.
And they're our best friends.
And they're fun.
They're our best friends. Oh, Connie and Rose. We're gonna have to do a whole video on just stories.
Yes.
Of our like cruises and like people we've met and like experiences we've had, because my goodness, we've had them all.
Yes.
So moving in to myth 3 is that all cruises are the same.
Cruise lines differ. It just depends on what vibe you're going for.
Correct. I mean, you can go on a Virgin Voyages cruise and have not even close to a similar experience as you would have on Carnival or Royal Caribbean.
Right. And itineraries make a difference.
Definitely.
You can cruise on the same ship
8 times.
Yes, and go different places, and you're going to experience a totally different atmosphere, totally different cruise vacation.
Right. And because A, you're going to different places, but B, because they also cater the activities to, at least a little bit, to the destinations that you're going to. So you will see some different trivias, some different games, some different things that they do.
And even the larger ships versus the smaller ships, those can make the cruise different. Larger ships are going to be full of entertainment. They're going to be like a floating city. You have so much to do, and it's so spread out that you don't really feel like you ever see the same people.
Right.
And the smaller ships are more intimate. You will run into the same people all the time. And there may not be as much to do, and it may not have all the amenities that the larger ships have. So that's where it will differ from larger ships to small ships.
Very true. And on to myth 4, that there is nothing to do on a cruise ship. We get this one all the time. How do you keep going back? Haven't you done everything? There's nothing new to do. There's nothing to do. I was bored. I would be bored. I'm always bored.
No.
Ugh. We're never bored.
No, I feel like when we get back from a cruise, we need a vacation.
Right.
Because there's
so much to do.
Always something to do. You know, we look at the Fun Times or the Cruise Compass, whatever we're looking at, and constantly starring things that we want to do. And
I mean, unfortunately, there's always so much to do. We don't always get to do everything we want to do.
Right, right. So we've got to kind of look through the week and plan things out. It's wild how much there is to do.
Right. And I mean, not even just, you know, activities, but there are pools, there are whirlpools, there are water slides. You know, Royal Caribbean, most of their ships have the rock climbing or the surf simulator.
Ice skating.
The ice skating on some ships. But then you run into karaoke and trivia and
bingo,
which we don't participate in, but we do watch sometimes.
Yes, yeah, we end up watching bingo a lot.
Then, you know, there are production shows. On Carnival, there's comedy every night.
There's a library if you prefer more quiet
and the libraries,
adventures.
You know, most of the libraries have at least a few books, and they usually have games, so you could play games in there.
Right. There's also an arcade on most ships.
Now, except for Virgin, you have to pay for the arcade. On Virgin, the arcade is free.
Yes.
But it has like 6 games in it, but still, it's free.
There's a casino.
Oh yes, always a casino. Every ship has a casino.
And there are some people that's all they do on their cruise.
Right. Listen. Nope, that's another story for another time. Tune in for that video.
There's theme nights, dance parties,
deck parties.
Yeah, you can create your entire
silent discos.
Yeah, your entire evening around that.
I mean, we hadn't thought about this when we were thinking about filming this video, but the spa.
I was getting ready to say the same thing.
We will let great minds think alike.
Yes.
We have done it a few times where we get the thermal day spa pass on Carnival, and That is amazing. And on some of the smaller ships, it's free. So always check into the spa and like ask questions when you first get on board, because just going and sitting in those heated like stone loungers,
zero gravity chairs, yeah,
it's so worth it.
And the sauna and the steam room, a great sugar scrub,
right?
Day made.
Yes, it is.
So you don't always have to book massage services or hair services to get access to it. I know Royal Caribbean, their smaller ships, I believe it is free. We're working on that for our upcoming cruise.
Right, we'll let you know. But those were the 4 most common myths, as you will say, that we get when we talk to people about our cruises and our vacations. And we thought we'd come on here and set people straight. You know, just lay down the law.
Yeah, and if you can think of any more that you've heard and want our opinion, go ahead and comment.
Or debunk your own myth in the comments. Tell us the myth and then tell us why you don't think it's true. We'd love to hear it. Okay, well, we'll see you guys in the next one.